That's right.
We are back with the Delusional Fan, Geraghty and McCloud sitting here in front of you, Chris Geraghty. Ryan McCloud, now we are going to go straight into this because this is a huge loss for one of us and a huge gain, I think, for the other one, right? Yeah. Josh Sitton picked up this week by the Bears because the Packers and Ted Thompson let him go. There was a monetary issue, from what I understand.
That's what it sounds like.
Is that what you got out of it too?
That's what I'm gathering.
Okay. Sounds like he wanted more than the Packers were willing to give up. And the Packers have always known to be stingy with veterans, aside from guys like Rodgers and Cobb and Nelson, who they both gave decent contracts to. Yeah. Linemen, they've always seemed to kind of shuffle along. They like the new guys. They bring them in. What are the Packers, the second youngest team in the NFL right now?
They have been for like several years, one of the younger teams.
But as a Bear fan, we pick up a guy who's been a 3-time Pro Bowl selection. He's been a 3-time second-team All-Pro selection, Super Bowl champion, obviously, with the Packers, and filling a need that we had because we lost Grasso early in the year, season-ending injury. Our center. So now we can actually move either Ted Larson or the rookie Cody Whitehair to center, which is, I think, the plans the Bears are going to go with. You had mentioned to me when we were talking off camera a little bit, you thought Sitton might play center.
It's just, I read something that they were toying with the idea because you lost your starting center of him going and playing center. He's played left guard for the Packers since he came into the league,
right.
so I don't
think
know
you're
if
gonna
they'll do
that.
that.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned off camera, the tandem of him at left guard and Kyle Long at right guard poses a problem for defensive fronts. I think both moves.
In case you didn't see that on camera, the roll of the eyes there was pretty awesome from his Packer fan.
Well, Kyle Long is like the fan favorite of Chicago Bears, and now you guys have a left guard that you can start praising too as your favorite players. So I don't know what it's like to just love offensive linemen like that. But I think both moves this weekend, because there was another big one that we should touch on, and I don't want to get into it now, but Bradford to the Vikings.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Both moves were opposites, in my opinion, in terms of I wasn't surprised that the Vikings acquired Bradford. I was pretty shocked hearing that Sitton was released by the Packers.
Okay. So you weren't surprised the Bears went after him right away, because that's just a no-brainer.
No, because if it's not the Bears, it's 31 other teams that are going to jump at the chance to pick up Josh Sitton.
At a Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Now, and I'll go into some downside things for him as well that I wasn't looking at as a Packer fan, but I wasn't surprised by the Bradford move. I was very surprised by Sitton. He's our most consistent offensive lineman over the last 6 years, at least.
Probably your most healthy of it.
That's what I mean. Consistent. He was the best ability is availability, right? Mm-hmm. 3 out of the last 4 years, he was in the Pro Bowl. Really the leader of that offensive line. Okay. I don't think I'm alone in being confused as to why this has happened. Your main priority should be protecting Aaron Rodgers, especially the left side.
Protect probably the best quarterback next to Tom Brady in the league.
Right. Yeah. So, and it goes without saying that we don't have a better option at left guard than Josh Sitton. He's one of the best offensive linemen in the league.
Yeah.
Okay? Lane Taylor is not Josh Sitton, and that's who is going to be starting for us at left guard on Sunday against Jacksonville.
Well, they obviously believe in him enough to let go.
I think there's so much coach speak that you have to read into, though, because what are they supposed to say at that point? Lane Taylor has earned his chance at being the starting left guard of this team. Bullshit, he has. Josh Sitton was the best option you had. This is the most primary important thing to do is protect Aaron Rodgers. I'm not happy, obviously.
Yeah.
You can't tell. And there's a lot of talk with regards to whether this was a contract dispute or his age. Sitton has had moments where I don't want to ever call it's not a disruption in the locker room, but he's been very vocal about and critical of mainly the offense and play calling, and most notably last year against Arizona following that loss in Week 16, not the playoffs.
Can't be age, he's 30. It's not
he's 31, and not only that...
ancient.
No, not at all. But anytime you crack the 30-year mark, it's okay to look at where this player is going to be in 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And that's when it comes up to a contract dispute, right?
Yeah.
Because, you're 31 years old. You want a long-term contract. I don't think I want to pay you for the next 5 years and guarantee you $40-50 million when I don't know where you're going to be in 2 years.
Which it would cost him, what, 8 to 10 is the offensive
right.
Yeah.
So, and that's that. And by the way, that was my downside moment of Sitton. That's it. He's over 30, and he's going to demand a lot of money. So that is their thought process as far as I'm concerned of actually letting him go.
Okay. So I get it. I'd be pissed off too. There's been a few guys, Greg Olson coming to mind, that the Bears have let go that just never made any sense to me.
Yeah.
And that was a money issue too. Like, they traded him away because his contract was coming up after his rookie contract.
Right.
I mean,
didn't do any favors having who's the Mike Martz?
Yeah.
Like kind of
Who hates
making him a blocking tight end when he's a receiving tight end, and kind of devaluing him
just
there.
Horrible. But okay, so I want an outsider's opinion on this.
Okay. I don't know if I can give you that as
I think
we're
you're
talking Sitton, but
well, I still think you're going to give this to me. I mean, if there's one thing I would say that Packer fans weren't threatened by, even having Forte on the team, was the running game. You were always threatened with Forte about his diversity, what else he could do. Because yes, he'll run for 6 yards, but then what happens when they fake the handoff and he runs and then cuts out, catches the ball in the open field, then you're screwed because he was so good. So now we no longer have Forte. We really don't have a great pass catching back. Langford's okay, he's not great. We just got that bruiser Howard. Kadeem Carey would be probably your little scat back style. Is this going to help the inside game for the Bears, not only rushing wise but also protecting Jay Cutler, who has over the past 8 years been one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league?
Right. I think it's really simple. The Packers are worse of a team, and I don't think they're gonna. This is like a demise of their season.
Right.
They are not as good as they were, and the Bears are better than they were. Okay. I think it's that simple. I can't sit here and tell you that that's going to catapult them to a top 10 offense just by adding Josh Sitton. But there's no question you gained a very valuable player, a Pro Bowl caliber left guard, which is a commodity in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, I'm not happy with it. And that goes to, the big thing I think is if you were not happy, and this actually comes with Sitton and his agent, because we easily could have gotten through this season, his contract's up, and then renegotiated and got something done. Right. Or at least gotten a compensatory pick by letting him be a restricted free agent going out. Mm-hmm. We didn't do that. We ran the risk of him going to a division rival by just releasing him. And this is exactly what happened. We're going to have to play him twice a year. He's come out and said this has nothing to do with a revenge thing. I'm not trying to get back at the Packers. It all came down to money. Bears were willing to give him money.
Yeah.
And
Bears
so
had money.
And they had money, and they were willing to give it. And he said, "That's where I'm going to sign then." Right. So I'm not. So
let me go a different angle. Then.
Sure.
Let me go a different angle.
They're better, to answer your question. Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, but I agree it's smart. I agree it's minimal, but I think it's going to make a difference in the Bears' offense. I think it could equate to a touchdown
better
every
run
couple
game
games,
equals a better passing game. Right.
Okay. Here is now the reason I'm bringing this up, because I think it's a great question. Because I got it from someone who is just learning football, and I mean just learning, my wife.
Okay.
Trying to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a great question, because we're all thinking it. Is he going to tell the Bears the Packers' secret?
And I figured you'd bring this up, yeah.
And so I explained to her the kind of things he could say.
Uh-huh.
And here's one thing that actually I agreed with her a little bit, okay? If there's one thing, maybe aside from last year with Jordy being out of the way, the Packers' offense wasn't as dominant as it always has been. So let's take last year out of it.
Okay.
The previous few years, we're talking the Packers hanging 40 points in the Bears in the first half type of thing. What can Josh Sitton bring to the Bears' defense? Can say to them, listen, this is what we used to do to you, and here's why it worked.
Right. Sure.
And how much is that going to help in the future? Because Josh is now signed with the Bears for, 3 years? Mm-hmm. So how much is that going to help playing the Packers coming up?
I don't think a ton, and I'm being honest. I'll try to be as unbiased as possible. And of course, there's and I knew you were going to ask that question. I was thinking about it myself. It's the NFL. Mm-hmm. Regardless of what you think personally, or what anybody might think of Mike McCarthy, he's an intelligent dude. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. They will change things up to, you know what I mean, when they're playing the Bears. They'll change things up. Signal calls will be different.
Oh, no, and that's not what I meant, though. Signal calls, of course.
You're just
I'm talking. Rodgers sees something on the field.
Sure.
Hey, guys, when I see this,
right.
here's the audible I'm going to call.
Sure.
I mean that.
And so I'll give you this example. Did the Minnesota Vikings ever beat us when Greg Jennings was on the team? On Minnesota? Couldn't he have done the exact same things? It never equated to anything. So I think there's other players that I'm not thinking of that I can bring up, or that the Bears have released that have gone on to play for other teams. I don't think it's going to be as impactful as you might think.
And what I ended up telling Alex, my wife, what I ended up telling her, and I'm going to go a little more in depth than you did, is it's a different defense. Bears now run a 3-4. This is only the second year they've run it.
It's a good point, too. Yeah.
First year, they technically, even though they weren't great because they didn't have great personnel, they were successful against the Packers. The Packers did not hang 50 on the Bears like they had. Again, you can go over what the Packers' issues were, offensive line injuries, Jordy Nelson, blah, blah, blah. But Josh can't really say much about the 3-4 because they never played the Bears 3-4. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. That was where I went with it. Like, it's not the same team, not the same defense. You're going to maybe there's a tendencies, like, so what Josh, I think, will be more helpful with is going to Jake Cutler and saying, listen, man, the defense keyed on you because you do this.
Right.
The defense picked you off because you do that.
Right.
This is the reason. I think he's going to be more helpful to Jake Cutler and the receivers than he would be to
the defense.
Helping the defense.
Okay. And again, like I said, I just think that. Do you agree though with at least that one player with Jennings? I mean, it could have gone the exact same way. You went to a division rival.
But you're talking about a wide receiver. Offensive linemen are, for the most part, thinkers. They make the same type of calls the quarterback makes for their offensive line. Wide receivers are literally out on an island doing their own thing. They're not even close to being part of a game plan. They hear their first call in their cadence, and that's all they care about.
It doesn't change the fact that this. Now, if you want to talk protection and things like that, that's obviously different. Think
about what Clay Matthews has done to Jay Cutler over the years. Think about what Peppers did to Cutler the past couple of years. There is something I think Sitton can help Cutler with.
Okay, and so I guess I'm confused. That would be helping the defense out, though, saying, like, when it comes to protection and things like that. It wouldn't.
It's helping the offense. He's not going to help the Bears' defense play against Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Sure.
Because Alex's question was more about Aaron Rodgers. So are they going to help the Bears beat Aaron Rodgers? I'm like, I don't think it's going to make as big a difference because Aaron Rodgers is just playing against 3-4 now, no longer the cover 2-4-3 to play against.
Right. Of course, there's the chance that he can help and do this and that. I think they're going to change things up enough that maybe, again, they're intelligent. It's the NFL. Yeah. I think it could very easily be. This is, especially if he had a good relationship with Sitton, to be like, he knows my tendencies, he knows what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to tweak things a little bit here to not show that.
Is smart enough.
Absolutely, and that's all I'm saying. I don't think it'll be as big. Of course, it could affect the game, though.
All right, let's go to the other big acquisition this week because it was insane to me. Sam Bradford goes to the Vikings for a first round and a fourth round pick, which is way overpaying for Sam Bradford, depending on what you think. Crazy to me because paying 1 and a 4 for Sam Bradford is crazy. Paying 1 and a 4 for Sam Bradford, if you truly, truly believe you will win the Super Bowl because you're getting Sam Bradford, is not crazy. So is it crazy? Is it not crazy?
It's crazy.
It's crazy. They're not going to win the Super Bowl, right?
Look, it's so funny to me just because we did our predictions, right? Mm-hmm. I said the Vikings will go 8-8 or 8-8 or 7 or 9-6. Or I'm sorry, 9-7. They're going to go they'll win 8 or 9 games. Mm-hmm. Teddy Bridgewater goes down. That's weird. I still kind of have him at 8 or 9 games. Sam Bradford. Do you want to know where I have him at? How many wins?
Same.
8 or 9 wins. I just don't.
I don't even know if he's starting yet.
He is certainly a better option than Sean Hill, and they released Stabby, so he's not even. He's not even going to be playing in the league most likely.
Oh, great.
Oh, right. I don't think it's going to be this. What gets him over the top acquisition? Do you agree or?
This early, no, I don't agree. But here's what I can tell you is they have enough dynamic talent on the outside right now that he's enough of a passer. It could make an offensive difference if Adrian Peterson is slowing down.
Okay.
Because if they can use Diggs, the talent that they have with him, if they can somehow get Cordero Patterson in the slot to act like a human being, And now they got that freaking rookie who didn't look great in the preseason. I think he can make a difference because the one thing we do know with Sam Bradford is he can throw the ball. He can sling it. The Vikings revamped their offensive line, and it's good. Mm-hmm. He's got a dump-off guy in Kyle Rudolph, who, if he stays healthy, is good. Mm-hmm. Sam Bradford is worth more wins than Sean Hill. Yes?
Yeah, that he's going to get him to he's going to get him to 9 wins.
So you're saying he's at least worth a win?
Yeah. Yes.
I think, and this is now. Remember, I was defending Teddy Bridgewater last week. If Bradford can pick up the offense, he's worth as much to that offense this year than Bridgewater would have been. I think Bridgewater over a career will end up being better than Bradford. But as a late replacement, quick trade, need somebody to sling the ball around after we hand off to Adrian Peterson, right. Bradford can win as many games as Bridgewater would have won this year.
And I'll keep coming back to this. And obviously, we won't get a chance to see if Teddy was going to take that next step, right?
I believe he would have.
But again, that is still an if. Mm-hmm. We're all just kind of, can he take that next step? He hasn't yet. I feel the exact same way about Bradford. He's 1-6 against NFC North teams. Yes, I'm not scared of Sam Bradford.
No.
And so that's
Nor should we be.
And so, like, hey, and even more so than Teddy Bridgewater, what year is he in now? 8 or 9? 10?
Who?
Sam Bradford. He's in year 8 or 9?
Yes. You gotta remember
is he supposed to take this big step? Because he hasn't impressed me, and I know you said he can sling the ball.
But that's
he's showing flashes.
But that's also like saying Rodgers is in year. How many years has Rodgers been in the NFL?
13 or 14.
But he's only played.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Bradford, remember, has been out almost 3 to 4 full seasons.
Dude, and blowing out his knee. So again, none of that scares me. He's either going to blow a knee out and not play, or he's going to be turnover prone, or he's going to not be mobile enough to evade tacklers.
You're still saying healthy, he's worth one more win.
I'm saying yes.
That's the difference between playoffs and not a playoff.
I think when you're talking at the bottom tier of quarterbacks, I think he's right there. I think he's one of the better bottom tier quarterbs.
All right, so as it lays right now, today, before any of the NFL games start, rank the quarterbacks in the NFC North.
Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, Jay Cutler, Sam Bradford now. And by the way, I only put Stafford above because his numbers have been more dynamic than Cutler's. He's at least had a couple of years where he's...
Megatron. What?
That very well might be. Hey, Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Marshall, come on. We can't have an excuse every time.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why. I think Cutler has the talent as
So you've got a 2A, 2B with those.
Yeah, exactly right. Yep.
All right. Fantastic. It's going to be... I'm so happy we're finally there. Tomorrow night, the NFL starts. Sundays when it really starts.
Honestly.
It's going to be great.
Great chills. Absolutely.
When we come back, we're going to throw a tribute to the Badgers versus LSU this morning. We're going to do our top 5. Yeah, our top 5 upsets, which I'm thinking we're going to have... I'm going to make a prediction here.
Okay.
I think we're going to have
a couple similarities.
2 the same.
Okay.
I'm going to say 2 the same. Other than that, I'm going to try and throw a surprise or two at you here.
You and me both.
So when we come back, top 5.